welcome to Apex Esports League. I'm JT. Tonight we're live on Project Cars 2 for PlayStation with the Pagnian Imports Porsche Cayman Cup. Tonight we have round 4. We're heading over to Algarve for tonight's round. So the session tonight we have qualifying for Division 2. It's 15 minutes, weather conditions are clear. Then the race is 18 laps, weather will progress from clear through to light cloud with a mandatory pit. Then we'll have a break as we set up for the next division, and then we'll race under those same conditions with another 15 minutes of qualifying and another 18 lap race for Division 1. So the standings after round 3 for Division 2, we have Demon Effects leading the championship with 395 points. And then for Division 1, we have Colby 387 taking the lead with 402 points. And then last week we were at the Nürburgring GP. We had Demon Effects just narrowly miss out on taking a clean sweep, taking the victory after the pole position, with Taijo taking the fastest lap. And then for Division 1, we had Coco Dog after qualifying third take the win, and Gallon 350 taking the fastest lap bonus points. We'll check out the tracks. We're at Portugal for Algarve, and then track length is 4.69 kilometers, and there's 14 turns. It is a fast technical track. It's a lot of fun, and then that big long pit straight can get a fair bit of pace with a good amount of speed still being taken towards the back end of Sector 1. Joining us for the stream, don't forget to jump into the chat, let us know who you're cheering on. If it's the first time coming across our stream, don't forget to hit that follow button. So there's plenty of racing action in the channel. So we're here every Thursday night, Project Cars 2, and then also on Monday nights for iRacing. It's a smaller field at the moment with a few drivers hopefully to load in. We do have drivers that are unwell that won't be able to make it tonight, so hoping they are all feeling well very soon. If it is a smaller field, it's going to be setting some drivers up for some higher points, even if they don't have too strong of an outcome. And then with some missing drivers, there could be some movement on that championship standings. See a good bit of movement coming into the final round next week. And while you join us to stream, do see the sound effects controls underneath the stream, so you can actually play a variety of sound effects. That way you can cheer, applaud, and a whole bunch of other different effects that will play over the stream. Just have some fun and join in, make the stream your own as well. It is a beautifully scenic track at Algarve. Some great views. Good camera positions around here, be able to see some spectacular passes being done and some more of the trickier corners as well. Demon Effects, our current championship leader, having taken over the lead during the win last week. Still was relatively close for the championship points between Demon and Wirra, so we're missing out after suffering a disconnect towards the back end. And if he is unable to make it tonight, that's going to hurt him even more so in points. It'll be beneficial for Demon Effects to try and shoot ahead for the championship lead. First times are coming through now. Marky Mark through first time lap of 2:06. Gallon, Mick and Steph, thanks for jumping on the stream. Joe and Mark both currently parked up. Lucky going for a slip. Unable to change his car livery in the session, going in just before we started the over for the stream to commence. Should be timed lap here. Boy gets in a 1:55. Even effects sneaks in a 1:54.8. Dan PS-Man also in the 1:54s. Marky Mark lands a 1:52. That is his second timed lap. Tamboon really on approach to be able to get a timed lap in now. Straight after Marky Mark landing that 1:52, he did exceed track limits, and then the next lap was invalidated. You have to head around for another lap before that time will count. Joe now out on track. There's 9 minutes remaining for qualifying. Jump on board for a lap around Algarve. Some drivers close to wrapping up a lap. See who that is that's on the approach. Not sure who that is, it might be. Big spin through the final turn. Jump on board with Demon Effects. Just started a lap down through turn one. A little bit slippery. Very sharp corners. Very sharp hairpin. Black is just disconnected from the session. Gonna rejoin back in time. Rejoin back in. We have to set another qualifying time, and there's only 7 minutes of the session remaining. Oh, Mark's just dropped out as well. Very long and fast final corner. Can lose a lot of pace by not getting the right line, which is going to be very crucial coming down to the very long pit straight. Demon Effects was at 1.8 off the pole time that he just set the lap before. the 1:52.359. Yeah, Balaki's back in the session. We just need to see Mark rejoin in now. Dan Boone's in with 1:53. Yeah, Mark back into the session. He changes his car while he is out as well. Right, zoom into the garage there. IJ sets in a time at 1:53.4. Pretty tight times between the drivers. The first four, only 1 second gap between them. IJ off for a spin. Disconnect for Mark again. He's going to be cutting it fine now. There's only 5 minutes of the session remaining. He's going to have to try and get in within the next minute 50. Demon Effects just improves on these times, hitting a 1:51.657. Look at that slide through the corner. And that car, a whole lot of pace. Qualifying in 6th, and Theosman in 5th. Only 0.6 separating the two. Comes Mark again. Suffers another disconnect now. He's not going to be able to see the start of the race. Fingers crossed, there's no connection issues. And DG just manages to get in as well. Only about 40 seconds remaining. We're getting a couple more drivers back into the field. Mikey Mark gets in with a 1:51 as well. It's only 2 tenths away from Demon's pole setting time. Carries a lot of pace down that straight. The driver's not having too much opportunity to be able to improve on the lap times. We're getting a draft at all. Smaller field and the much bigger track. We're seeing the drivers out there on their lonesome a little bit more. You can see, bring up that track map. Oh, and that'll be unfortunate for Demon. All the dots on the map, you can see the driver's relatively spaced out. Well, Marky Mark is 1/10 up on his time. He's only going to find another 10th and he'll be able to take pole position away. Demon Effects having brought that car back into the pits. He's not going to have enough time to get out now with only 2 minutes left on the clock. And won't give him an opportunity to get another time to lap in. Can Marky Mark take the pole away on the final laps? Mark's been on a good run. He's coming 4th on the championship. He's only 2 points behind Balaki. Qualified 4th last week and then got third, getting on the podium. He's currently a good few positions ahead. He's ended up bringing the car in that lap. Drivers will need to make sure they are aware of where the pit entry is. Be crucial when it comes to the mandatory pit requirement. And just with how close our races have been finishing, it's only come down to a matter of a few seconds, and that can definitely be made up down pit lanes. They do need to make sure that they are not wasting any speed on the approach. Taijo debuted with us last week. He ended up taking the second position, qualified in second, and also got the fastest lap bonus points. He did suffer a 20-point penalty after a car reset done on the final turn on the last lap. And he was set for a pretty good outcome before a massive lag incident with wearer's disconnect, ending up causing his car to be spun off track. Mark did get back out, but it's not going to be enough time for him to get in another timed lap. Dan Boone just runs off on the last lap. There's only 90 seconds remaining for qualifying. Cool Boy finishing his last lap here. Makes an improvement. He moves up 2 positions. Goes from 7th up into 5th. DJ not getting out for a timed lap. But he'll at least be making the grid. Mark also swapping over into his usual livery as he was disconnected. Will he improve here? He's got 2:16. He gets in a nice time. There we have qualifying for Division 2 for round 4 of the Porsche Cayman Cup Demon Effects position, setting a 1:51.657. So it's very close with those times. We have our first 4 drivers only 0.6 difference, so very tight. It's going to be interesting over the course of 18 laps. So the rest of the grid we'll have starting behind Demon FX is Marky Mark, Taijo, Dan Boone, Mark, Coolboy, Volaki, Dan PS Man, and DG. So over to the track now. If you haven't checked out our other social media links, which are just at the bottom of the screen, we have our Facebook page. It has all the information if you want to be able to look at joining up for the league, so you can participate in either our Project Cars 2 series or iRacing, or if you just want to stay up to date with what events we're holding and to be able to see results and standings, you can see all that without the need of actually having a Facebook account. You can just check it out from a browser. There's also our YouTube channel. You can go back and check all our past broadcasts, which is the bit.ly/ApexCSL, and that is case sensitive, so you will need to type it in as you see it on the screen. And there is a whole lot of racing to be able to go back through and check out. And you can just see how far some of our drivers have come over their time with us. We've seen drivers first join and be starting towards the rear of the field to then start taking wins is fantastic to see. And just the lap times we've been seeing from all our members are getting quicker and quicker every race. And it's not too unusual to actually see some world record times being set during the course of the races as well. So well done to our drivers. We should get a great view to the start here. Light's about to go green for round 4 in Division 2. DG gets away to a pretty quick start. He did actually have to back off a little bit. Demon's pulled away pretty quickly. Taijo's made a position. He's got the jump on Marky Mark. There's not too many cars for the drivers to try and find track position. A little bit of bumping going on. Down through turn 3. Looks like they're about 3 wide. Taijo's moving on up, going to be putting some pressure on the Demon pretty quickly. Taijo had a huge amount of pace last week. And championship-wise, Demon's not going to have to be too fussed about Taijo making a move on him. Ultimately, doesn't need to take a win here. Second on the championship is where he's not made it tonight. Got Malaki looking to go for a move. He's positioned himself for an outside line pass. A little bit of door rubbing. And DJ just peeling off into the pits once the camera wants to figure out where our cars are. I'm sure if he may have taken some damage. Maybe a drive-through. May have very well jumped the start. He did get off to that very quick launch and had to take evasive action with the car in front. I think he may be actually serving a drive-through here. A little bit of a touch. Good boy and Mark also getting nice and close. He's just lost a bit of pace there to end up blocking Cool Boy. Like he got off the throttle after a little bit of slip. Taijo and Demon Effects pulling away. First lap of 1:59 set by Demon Effects. 2 minute for Taijo. And the two pulling away from Marky Mark. Demon just puts down a heap of gap. Crossover, he's trying to break that slipstream from Taijo. Drop down into 6th position. It's about a 1 second gap between himself and Mark. DG back out on track. He's moved up into 3rd position. Currently 7 seconds behind race lead. His last lap about 2 seconds off Demon and Ty's pace. He was a good 3 seconds quicker than Dan Boone's time. He's managed to put a nice gap between himself and Dan. He's now got a 4 second gap. Trying to break that slipstream, not working too effectively for Demon. You don't want to be losing too much pace by doing too many movements. Mark moves back up into 5th position, having got around Mark. The last few rounds we've had some pretty tight battles for most of the race between Mark and Balaki. Probably would have been seeing the same if Mark hadn't have dropped back from starting towards the front end. Dan Boone's got Mark starting to close in on his tail. Well, Tyjo's had a slip. He's dropped back into 3rd position, so that sees Balaki move up into 2nd. Balaki's been having a great championship this series. He's got 301 points. He's currently 3rd in the championship. Just ahead of him by 13 points is Wirra, who's absent tonight. But he's easily going to be moving up into the 2nd position. However, he is very close on points between him and Mark, so there's only 2 point difference. As it stands after qualifying, they're probably going to be fairly close on points now. Tyjo's had an off again, he's having a few issues. Marky Mark now hot on the tail of Dan Boone here. They're looking to make a move very soon. Pace is about 2 seconds quicker. He's already probing for an opening. received a post-race time penalty. Oh, and he goes off. That's on the final corner. Recovered quickly. He's going to use this opportunity to head into the pits. Whilst his pace is already reduced, it's going to essentially just make up for having gone in for a pit stop later. It's not going to cost him too much time in the end for that spin. The Demon Effects has a net 10 to 11 second lead. Last lap of 152.5. Go on lap 6 of 18. Rather wide. Let's caught back up. Cool boy. Where it runs off wide. Maybe a little bit of pressure from Taijo. A few little lag skips showing from Taijo. Having some connection issues in the lobby before starting tonight. Hopefully, there's going to be a disconnect here for him. As of lap 6, sorry, just saying lap 7, we have Dan PS Man in 9th position, DG in 8th, Marky now in 7th. We did just see him head on into the pits. He's now served his mandatory pit. He's 1 minute behind, but it is a very long pit lane. It's quite a long pit stop, so you'll see him recover a fair bit by the time the other drivers head off into the pits. So Cool Boy in 6th position. Taijo in 5th. Mark in 4th position. Bamboon in 3rd. Black in 2nd place. Demon Effects leading the way down lap 8. A great run. This is going to be very helpful for his championship lead if he can continue this up. Malaki having a very strong drive. A fair bit of spacing going on at the moment. 13.5 second gap between 1st and 2nd. There's another 8 seconds between 2nd and 3rd. Schoolboy now in for his mandatory pit. That allows Marky Mark to reclaim another spot. We'll have a look to see what the penalties issued are. DG and Schoolboy both wearing a 1 second post-race time penalty. Current rate of the spacing, that's probably not going to be much of an issue, having a few seconds worth of penalties at the track's not too bad. Exceeding track limits. It is a very nice wide track. Getting the sections that you do go off, it's not going to be too hard to try and be able to shave that pace off, or it may not even actually be too tight on throwing the penalty at you. Bojo is only 2 seconds away from Mark. Mark just peels off into the pits. Bojo now moving back up in the 4th position. Marky Mark's going to be close enough to be able to get a position back from Mark. He comes out only just ahead of him. Marky Mark's going to have an advantage here. He's out there with more temp in those tyres than what Mark is. It's a very long trip down pit lane. Those temp will have actually changed a bit. Demon Effects heading off into the pits. Pitting at the halfway point. He's had a nice gap with not too much pressure from anyone. An early pit. They're going to be of benefit. We've even seen in Division 1 drivers opting to pit in very early. In our previous series, we've always had the drivers usually leave the pit until the very last moment. After 2 rounds, we've seen Poker Dog use that strategy. It's worked very well, so we may start seeing more drivers start opting to actually get in for an early pit. Balaki has the race lead now. Dan Boone in 2nd position. Demon Effects, after serving the pit, comes out in 3rd position. 14 seconds behind Balaki. With that gap, it's a nice little distance Demon has set so that he can get in and pit. Keeps his pace up, he'll take the lead back by the time Balaki and Dan both head into the pits. Trying to close that gap. Bit of a lock there from Mark. Saves the car. He almost put that into a spin. That's DG, that's currently 4 seconds behind 2 marks. Bamboon moves moves into first position as Balaki heads into the pits. Demons reclaimed a position. Now in second place. He's only 5.6 seconds away. Pagnian gets a little bit loose on the inside. That's cost him the gap that he started to close in on Mark. He's still within range, about to be getting advantage of the slipstream. Oh, and he's gone off. It's going to allow DJ to start closing in. He's only a couple of seconds away now. Being our current race leader. About to start lap 12. That'll see 6 more laps to go. Lucky, after pitting, came out in position 4. Joe is 7 seconds ahead. I don't remember seeing him head into the pits. DJ starting to close the gap on Mark. He's got him now. Mark goes off. DJ moves up into position 6. DJ was only serving a drive-through penalty when we saw him head in after the first lap. So we're going to have to head in and serve the mandatory pit requirement. It's going to cost him some time. Bullboy now having caught up to Mark. Slip. Bamboon now down into the pits. Demon Effects reclaims the race lead. RJ moves up a position. That'll see Balaki also move up into position 3. Bamboon heading on out of the pits. I think there was a bit of a lag skip shown there with Mark. Mark tries to break that slipstream. They're both going to be well offline coming into turn 1. It causes them both to run wide. So going that wide there may actually cause a slowdown request to be given. Starting at lap 14. Even affects our race leader, just sitting a 152.8. RJ in position 2, 7.5 seconds away from Demon. That lap of 151.427. We're starting to see a similar pace to that of qualifying, as those fuel loads are getting lighter. We're looking to have another go at getting past Mark. On the roof. Cool boy. To the outside down the pit straight, where Mark went to brake the other direction. Almost a bit of a feint done by Coolboy, getting him offline and then being able to take that racing line down pit straight. Had the good momentum down through turn 1. He's got 8 seconds. Really catches up to DG. I do believe DG does need to head into the pits. There's only 3 laps remaining. Slip going on for Tyjo. That's Dan PS Man. Just been lapped. And currently in 9th. Get DG heading into the pits now. I'll see Coolboy and Mark both move up a position. Coolboy now in 6th. Mark in 7th. Tyjo is needing to still serve that pit requirement. That's going to see Volaki move back up into 2nd place. That'll also be of some benefit to Dan Boone. He should come out probably very close to where Tyjo will come out after he heads off into the pits. on the lap 16. Cayman seeing some traffic up ahead. Lucky does move up into second position. Marky Mark stays in fifth. It's going to be up for that tiny gap that he has on Marky Mark for the championship. So there's only a 2-point difference between the two. And the two have been finishing directly behind each other. Marky Mark a little bit more bad luck tonight. Qualifying in second did help him. The big points is where it's at for the race. If he, like he can put on separate positions, difference between the two, it's going to have that edge on that lead, especially if we're absent. I can definitely see Malaki hold second place coming into the final round. And be looking pretty good for a podium finish for the championship. The lap 17. Only have Demon Effects leading the way. IJ in second. Lucky in third. Dan Boone in fourth. Mikey Mark in fifth position. Bullboy in sixth. DJ in seventh. Mark in 8. Really slippery. Mark been experiencing a bit of oversteer tonight. And in 9th we have Dan PS Man. Overall position currently we could very well see drives close to being able to finish up all laps of the race. We've had that in Division 1 for the last couple of rounds. Catching up to DJ. DJ moving offline for him. Even also wanting to try and get that slipstream. DJ dropping that pace, let him through. And then it crosses the line. Taking the win is Demon Effects. Tyjo breaking the car across the line. I think he may have actually made more contact before getting the line. That's probably going to hurt his rating there a little bit. Other drivers having fun. Larky crosses the line in P3. Tyjo must have already been into the pits. Dan Boone coming up into 4th position. Marky Mark currently in 5th. No, he's not. There's 50 seconds to get the last laps done. Marky Mark crosses the line in 5th position. We're coming on to the home straight now. Taking 6. There we have round 4 for Division 2 of the Porsche Cayman Cup. Demon Effects taking the victory. And I think the fastest lap has gone to Tyjo again at 1:51.427, so about 3 tenths difference between Demon Effects time and Tyjo's. Almost a clean sweep there. But the Demon Effects. Then also on the podium we have is Tyjo, then Balaki, and then the rest of the standings is Dan Boone, Marky Mark, Coolboy, DG, Mark, and Dan PS Man. So we'll be inviting in Demon, Tyjo, and Balaki for a chat now. So bear with me as we add them into the session. Should be enjoying in a moment. Stephen, congratulations on the win.
Was that me?
Yep, that's you.
Oh, yep, I just come in. Yeah, cheers. Thank you, JT. Well done to Ty and Balaki on the podium for 3rd. That's well done. Excellent.
Yeah, it's a very good drive. Congratulations, Ty and Balaki.
Oh, cheers, JT.
Yeah,
I've got to pee real bad.
I was going to say you could have been cutting it fine to get into the session and just jump straight into it.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd make it in.
Yeah, lucky you did. Done very well getting on the podium, so that's going to help you, especially getting a couple of positions gap between Mark now.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain it's the number 88.
Yeah, so you'll be also then probably jumping ahead of Wira from position 2 on the championship, so it should see you take 2nd.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Looking good coming into the final round for a potential podium spot for the championship.
That's a first, I think.
Yeah, well it would be. And well done. Solid drive this series, Balaki.
Thank you.
No worries. And another good round again, Ty.
Yeah, for a decent one. I feel like I could have had more pace to fight for the win, but I tried to test my pace in the first few laps and push too hard. And yeah, that's been decided at all.
Yeah, and did start to climb back pretty quickly, seeing that gap close in on Demon for a little while, and you scored the fastest lap of the race again too.
Yeah.
So congratulations, guys.
Yeah. Ty was quite quick at the beginning there until he had a spin. So I didn't quite hook up my quali lap. I wanted to get a 50 because I know the guys in Div 1 are going to get 50s at least. So, but that's all right. I got a great start for that race, but then Ty just stuck with me the whole time. But then when he had a spin, it took the pressure off, and I just took it a bit easy, I think. But then when I saw he came back into a close gap, I went, oh, okay, better get back on this again. So but it was all good.
Yeah,
You know,
I just felt really uncomfortable with the car. I couldn't keep a steady pace. Like every lap pushing was just a risk. Like a really
Yeah,
high risk
yeah.
lap.
I had hard tyres all around, and you were basically on the slide a lot. So turn 1
Yeah.
and turn 2, I struggled a lot. The rest of the corners were okay.
yeah,
And
saw a
just
lot of nice rear slides through
suspension
turn
balancing.
1 by both of you.
Yep.
Yeah, I sort of broke a lot earlier than what I was in practice because I just didn't want to have a spin, which I had a couple of times. So I just was cautious through there. But I was quicker in some parts, but Ty was definitely quicker in some others. So it just was a good race. Look forward to Div 1 race.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good seeing us do it all again next week for the final. So, at
Yeah, it's a
GP.
shame Weira wasn't in tonight. So I know he would have been quite quick at this as well. So it would have made it a lot closer next round.
Thank God we're not here.
True.
Give you a chance, hey, Palaki.
Yeah.
Lane Gallen says, thanks, Gallen 350 for tuning.
Oh yeah. No, stuff him. No, I set
no
my
worries.
fastest lap on lap 16.
There you go. Nicely done. A 153.
Yeah.
That's well done.
Yeah, congrats, guys, and look forward to seeing you again next week.
Thank you, fellas, and thank you, JT.
No worries.
Thanks, JT.
Thank you.
Well done.
Good win,
Cheers.
Demon.
Yeah, cheers, man.
There we have our podium finishes with Demon Effects taking the win, Taijo in second, and Balaki in third. Then we'll be having a break, and then we'll be starting back again at 8:45 PM with Division 1's qualifying, and then the same 18 laps around Algarve. So do stay tuned, we'll be back very shortly. welcome back to Apex Esports League with round 4 of the Pagnian Imports Porsche Cayman Cup. We are seeing Division 1 load in now. We're at Algarve in Portugal. Track length is 4.69 kilometers. There are 14 turns, and then the qualifying will be in clear conditions, and then the race will progress from clear through to light cloud cover. So we could be seeing some very tight racing action in Division 1, so we've got a good size field. We had a more smaller field for Division 2, but saw some great racing still. We have the Pretender back with us after having sorted his technical issues. He was actually having some clashes with IP numbers. After resolving those issues, we won't be seeing any dramas for him. We've got 11 drivers in the round tonight for Division 1. Will be 3 out 7, a championship leader. If you're only just joining us for the stream, do jump into the chat, don't be shy. If you haven't done so, be sure to hit that follow button so you can be notified when we go live every Thursday and Monday with Project Cars 2 and iRacing. Oh, big slide there from Philly coming over that crest, manages to save the car. Gallen narrowly avoids some contact with him. With us still, Mick. Hope you are feeling better. Drivers all crossing the line now for their first timed lap. Is coming third in the championship with 335 points. Then have Coco Dog sitting in second place. Pretender just gone for a big slide in behind Coco. Oh, that's good, Mick. Glad you're on the mend. All well and back on track again. Coco Dog is only 19 points behind our championship leader Corby 387. Coco can have another good round tonight. He's going to be able to sit very close. Championship points heading to the final round, and that's worth the big points. The race worth double that of our other 4 rounds before. There's even the fastest lap. Bonus points that are doubled, so it's worth 10 laps in the final round. They only get 5 points in all the rounds beforehand. Coco Dog sets pole with his first time lap, a 151.8. Billy also setting a 151.8. Not sure if he... Yeah, so he's brought the car back straight into the pits after setting that lap. As did Gallant, he's done a 152. They might be out there just doing fuel hot laps. They're already out there with a very low load of fuel. Really running 16 litres. Enough. Only get 4 or 5 laps for sure. He's taken pole with a 150.4. I've heard that apparently some 149s have been set in some of the practice sessions. And we see an even quicker time. Coco Dog's just had his lap time validated, exceeded track limits. Corby exactly 1 second difference from Sami's time. BK only 0.032 away from Corby's time. All drivers getting a time on the board. DK's slipped. There's 8 minutes remaining qualifying. Farmers qualifying with a 154.2. A difference of 4 seconds from pole. All the drivers very close with their times. Army's improved on that lap. And getting it down to a 150.194. Can he break into that 149 mark? Big Daddy setting a 152.6. Improve on this lap. He's just gone off track. He's brought the car back into the pits. Jump on board for a lap around. And find a driver that's close to starting a lap. Gallant. Just going through turn 14. Very light load of fuel. Improves on that lap, made 6 tenths. Little slide through turn 1. There's a little bit of a crest on that corner, so the car does skip a little. Lost the amount of speed. We can take the car down into that rear wheel, slide out a tad. Okay, Dog and Philly have bumped Corby down. Okay, disqualifying in second, Philly in third. It's a big slide, he gets that car under control. But it cost him some time. He's still half a second up on his best. Would have skipped a little in that slide. He managed to keep it under control. It's been a lot of fun in the end. Shaving half a second off here is going to see him get up into third position. More. He's done it, so that's a whole second quicker, so he's gotten into the 150.6. That's taken second place. What a lap. The white load of fuel he's got, the amount of pace that he had coming down onto pit straight, this is going to set him up for another good lap. And we did see him go for that slide that did cost him probably a 10th at least. Could Gallen have some more in him? It's good we didn't give him the old commentator's curse there. It is good when we do manage to jump on and see some real flat out laps. He's been bumped down into fifth, coming onto the straight now. Oh, a little bit slippery. Will he improve on this time? He's got to beat a 151.4. Doesn't improve. There's 2.5 minutes remaining to qualifying. Only going to be 2 more laps at most. Drivers in the pits at this stage. It'll be unlikely for him to be able to get another timed lap in and before the session finishes. Owen Corby's just brought it back in. Doggy Daddy also in the pits, as is Steph. We only have 4 seconds separating 11 cars. Head Farmer qualifying in 11th. F in 10th. Tender sitting in 9th. I think that's Vortex towing him behind. This car looking pretty well beaten. Tender moves up a spot, so he's just bumped down Vortex. This will be final lap. There's only a minute remaining. We're seeing 152's set by Pretender. A little bit slippery in that rear. Doggy Daddy sitting in 7th. Parked up, so that's him done for the session. DK's qualified 6th. That still with setting a 1 minute 51 on the quick end of the 151 as well. Our first 6 drivers, only 1.2 seconds separating them. We'll be back out on track, but he's not going to have enough time to get another timed lap in to be able to improve his qualifying position. Go Dog. Qualifying third with a 151.1. His qualifying completes. This is final laps now. Gallen's parked up. He's qualified second with a 150.6. Sami still holds pole with a 150.1. Sami just exceeded track limits. Oh, Pretender's just copped himself a grid place penalty. 1 grid place. So he's just gone into the pits. Finding the pit entrance, and he must have been speeding. We'll be getting out and practicing his pit entry. Finding for Division 1 for round 4 of the Pagnian Imports Porsche Cayman Cup. Sami taking pole position, setting a 150.194, and then the rest of the grid will then be followed by Gallen, Coco Dog, Philly Manilli, Corby, DK, Doggy Daddy, Pretender moves down in 1 spot, so we'll start in 9th, and we'll see Vortex move up into 8th, and then Head Farmer and Steph heading over to the grid in a moment. Hey Jeffrey, thanks for jumping on the stream. Giving some support for Coco Dog. Coco qualifying in a higher up position. We've even seen him still be able to take podium after qualifying down towards the back, hitting on that first lap, and then making his way back through, having a nice clear track to put down some big pace. So will he do the same strategy that he's done those last couple of rounds, now that he's sitting more up the front? It could still prove to be a worthwhile strategy. He doesn't have to be up there, potentially losing pace, racing the field. And now that some other drivers are cluing onto it, he opts to stay out. Pole does start from a favourable line for the race. He will already be on that racing line. Gallen gets a good jump on him here. He could be forced to have to yield for turn 1. And lights are green. Division 1 up and away for round 4. Sami gets off to a good start. Vortex flying up along the inside, gaining a few positions. Now fighting side by side with Corby and Gallen, putting some big pressure on Sami already. Loses a little bit of pace. Coco Dog runs a little wide. Looks like a good getaway. Gallon already looking for an opening. Bobby and Philly side by side. Bobby gets a move over. Philly moves up into 4th. Gallon starting to drop back from Sami. It's going to allow Coco to start closing in on him. Philly not giving up on Corby. Only able to pull half a second. Off goes someone into the pits. I think that's Philly. Not sure if he's taken damage. He's choosing to try and do the early pit stop strategy. He furthers that lead by another 10th. Okay, starting to get some pressure from Corby. Almost some rubbing. Both Gallon and Coco Dog have just received the post-race time penalty. The slip from Vortex is going to allow DK to really close in now. DK is already getting some pace on him. Also received the post-race penalty. Starting to close the gap on Pretender. She's also got Head Farmer closing down. He's been in and done his pit. Vortex gone for a bit of a slip, dropped 2 spots. DK having got around, and also Doggy Daddy passing. Vortex now just reclaiming a spot from Doggy Daddy. Kef quickly closing in on Pretender now. I think she's close enough to go for a turn 1 pass. Thought about it. From lap 3, Sami set a 150.6 for lap 2. That's a very quick lap time for a full load of fuel. Some pretty tight gaps between our first 4 now. Corby probing for an opening around Coco. Okay, starting to feel some pressure from Corby. Corby's pestering those mirrors. Gets the run on him nearly through turn 14. Wasn't enough. Coco had the racing line. He's going to own it here to make the pass through turn 1. Coco's still hot on his tail. Steph now heading into the pits. Oh, she's taken some front damage. The drivers pushing the limits for this track. That's now 5 drivers with post-race time penalties. 1 second to Sami, Gallon, Coco and Steph. 2 seconds to Corby. Sami now has a 1 second lead. Gallon did get that down to about half-second mark, but it's now dropped back out. Last lap around, Gallon set a 150.4, as did Corby. Sami set a 150.9. Sami's made up for it over the course of lap 4. Corby putting a gap on Coco Dog now. Still close enough that he's going to be getting that draft. Vortex looking to get back position 5 from DK. Tyre spill from all these 4. They head down through the hairpin. Trying to get as much speed through that corner. Bit of a drift there from Gallon. That's when we were on board with him in qualifying through that same section. We had quite the drift. Bit of a slip again. He was bringing that gap down. He's got a second between himself and Corby. Corby already having a 2-second time penalty. Our drivers have managed to finish as closely as they are racing at the moment. Can easily lose a position. Now joins with the post-race time penalties. That's more than half the field wearing a penalty at this stage. Okay, teetering on that gap with Corby. 2.1 seconds quicker than Corby that last lap. There's no room for mistake here with our top four. All it's going to take is the tiniest slip, and they can easily lose a couple of positions. So on lap 7, we have Steph in 11th position. She has been in and pit after she took some front end damage. Billy in 10th. Did see him pit very early. Didn't look like he had any damage. Car's looking very good. He may be trialling out the early pit. Worked well for Coco and in the last 2 rounds, and then Gallen even tried it following Coco last week, and it also paid off very well. It'll be interesting to see how it goes for Philly. We have Doggy Daddy in 9th position. Ed Farmer in P8. Tender in 7th. Really good to be able to see him get in the race with all the dramas that he had with the disconnects last week. He's even unwell and racing tonight still. Vortex we have in P6. Still teetering on that gap between him and P5, and that's DK. And then have Cocodog in 4th. Dropping back a little bit. Corby in 3rd. Gallen in 2nd. Corby quickly closing in on him now. Was 1 second gap before. That's now dropped down to half a second less. We have in the race lead is Sami. DK's gone into the pits now. So we've approached the halfway point just about. Farmer's just gone for a spin. Doggy Daddy and Philly both move up position. That's allowed Philly to make another move, so he's gained 2 positions here. He lost a lot of pace. Corby was very close. He had a little bit of a slip. Was down to a 10. Lost a couple of attempts. Like he had to back off on the throttle. Gallen looks to break that slipstream. So you knew Corby would have had the jump on him here. But in doing so, that also lost his slipstream. It was close enough. Oh, he carried a lot of speed. It's going to cost him. Oh yeah, he's just been passed by Head Farmer. Farmer recovering back after that spin. Woody's ran wide through turn 1. Look at he must have followed suit. He didn't lose the position and they were sitting pretty close. Corby just makes the pass on Gallen. Nick, he sure is going vroom vroom. Corby is flat stick at the moment. Is he going to be able to close that gap on Sami? Sami's been putting down some very consistent laps. The last lap at 151.5, and that's while he's out in the front. Where the lap times we're seeing with the rest are getting a bit of a draft. They are battling for position, so expected to lose a little bit of pace. After several laps, they were keeping a tight gap where they weren't really probing for openings. But Sami was still getting that advantage on those lap times compared to them. For some reason the stream cuts out at all. We may have actually had a power interruption. We've just had a huge electrical storm come on top of us. All I can see is flashes of light coming through the windows. Fingers crossed it holds out. Look at Corby, absolutely flying, putting that gap over Gallen now. Gallen catching back up. Corby playing defensive, he's trying to break that slipstream on the straight. Oh, and he lost some pace, but it's put Gallen off. He's going to take evasive action. He gets at a position back, so he moves back into P2. Corby drops off a fair bit. Billy just gets a pass on Pretender, move up into P6. He's currently 41 seconds away from the race lead. That early pit is probably going to pay off. He's going to come out around the top few for sure. He was in about P3, P4 when he went into the pits after those first laps. He's going to have more than enough fuel to be able to last out. He doesn't get held up, making his way back through. He should be fine. He's got a fair gap between himself and Vortex. He's probably not going to close that gap before Vortex probably heads into the pits. At this stage, Philly has a nice section of open track ahead and then no pressure from behind. Gallon now pitting, so he's dropped down into 4th position. Coca Dog moves up into 3rd. Corby retakes 2nd. Sami pushing that lead out more. He's now got 3.8 seconds over position 2. Sami had a lot of good pace last week. He had a lot of bad luck. And he did end up having a good recovery in the end. The car seems to be doing very well for him tonight. Got that thing dialed right in. Corby goes out quite wide. Tender just heads out of the pits. Ed Farmer also heading in. Steph moves up a position. Steph having already been in a pit after she took the damage. She doesn't need to head back in. It's going to be putting a nice gap between her and Head Farmer now. She's only got 5 seconds till she catches up to Pretender. Corby just enters the pits now. Hitting slightly earlier than what Corby usually does. Coco now moves up in position 2. And that's the Head Farmer. Just came along the straight as Corby came back out on track. Vortex now up into P3. Gallon is P4. Gallon currently 32 seconds behind race lead. When Coco heads into the pits. And also Vortex need to do the same. Gallon will take back position 2. Yeah, Mick Gall has stopped. Sami coming in now. Coco Dog follow. Stays out on track. That'll see him move up into the race lead. He's made the stop and on his way out of the pits now. Sami powering out of pit lane now. Gallon not too far behind. There's a much bigger gap when Gallon decided to pit before. And possibly a longer pit stop for Sami. May have cost him a little bit of time. Coco's got 22.6 second lead. Does look like Sami may have had an extra 10 seconds to his pit stop compared to what Gallen had. So he's lost a bit of that gap. That means when Coco Dog ends up heading into the pits and coming back out, he's going to be fairly close. Corby's dropped back a fair bit, so he's about 4 seconds away from Gallen. That's Vortex tucking in right behind Gallen. Vortex will need to pit. He's got a couple of laps to be able to do that in now. Currently 3 seconds behind Corby. That little slip's going to cost him about half a second. And that could be the case. He may have actually taken some tyres. A tyre wear could have definitely been something for him because he's been doing some very quick times consistently throughout the race. He's already putting a gap on Gallen. Apparently just came out marginally in front. He's now pushing that gap out again. I believe all drivers have the pit set for Coco Dog and Vortex. Doggy Daddy putting some big pace on. Get a move on Steph. Oh, big contact. Went for inside line. Giving a nudge. Doesn't look like it's going to be too much damage to them. They should be able to continue on fairly okay. Just to be some panel contact. I don't think Doggy Daddy took any damage to that front wheel when he tapped the bumper of Steph. Lap 16 of 18. Coco Dog in the lead. Gallen in third position, Sami in second, both having served their mandatory pit. And then trailing by 22 seconds from Coco Dog. Like he had a little bit of brake lock up that slightly threw him off line. He's going to have to pit this lap. Corby moves up into fourth position as Vortex heads down pit lane. Billy will also recover a position. That now only leaves Coco to pit. He's just starting to catch up to some lap cars. Hey Simo, thanks for jumping on the stream. Hope you're feeling better. Still teetering with that gap. Trying to close in on Sami. Goes Coco now. Pagnian Gallen will easily cover a position. Looking to break that slipstream. Pagnian takes back the race lead. There's less than half a second separating himself and Gallen. That's the last lap. Corby comes out just ahead of Coco Dog. Gallen going to be able to cover that gap over the course of this lap and make a move. We'll bring up penalties. It's 1 second to Sami, 1 second to Gallen. Corby's now wearing 5 seconds, Coco Dog 3 seconds, as is Philly. Steph 4 and Head Farmer on the 1. The penalty's not going to affect Sami and Gallen here. Gallen looking for an opportunity. Oh, that is so close. It's only an inch away from that bumper. He's going to make a move for this inside line. This is the last 2 corners. He's going to be able to get him on the straight. This is going to be a very close finish. Oh, they're side by side. Going to be a photo finish. Neck and neck. Sami has the lead. Just crosses. I think it's about 0.024 difference between the two. Sami gets the win. Gallen in second place. Bobby in third. Coco Dog not able to close in enough to be able to take advantage of being able to steal a position away from Corby. He takes fourth. Corby's brought the car back in the pits already. Billy crosses in fifth position. Vortex in sixth. DK Rush following up in 7th position. We'll be able to see them all finish the race laps. We've had it for the last few rounds. Good if we can see it again. Tender takes 8th. Steph and Doggy Daddy very close coming down pit straight, and Steph does have a penalty. He crosses 9th. Will it be taken? Yes. She drops down the 10th. Doggy Daddy gets her from the post-race time penalty, so he moves into 9th position. Head Farmer confusing the camera, making it think that he was going into the pit lane. And crosses in 11th. All drivers finishing up all the laps, and is great to see yet again. And then we have Sami taking the victory, and Taddy Fastest lap taken away from him. It looks like it's been set by Gallon, a 154.37 by the looks of things. So well done there to Gallon for scoring those extra points. And big congratulations to Sami for taking the checkered flag. And then on the podium in P2 is Gallon, and then in P3 is Corby. And then the rest of the have Coco Dog, Philly Manilli, Vortex, DK, Pretender, Doggy Daddy, Steph, and the Head Farmer riding in our podium finishes now. So we're having Sami, Gallon, and Corby in here in a moment. See quite the amount of post-race time penalties. The 3 seconds from Coco not being able to close that gap in enough. He's only ended up being 1 second away. Anyway, other guys coming in. Congratulations, Sami, on the win.
Thanks, mate. It's nice to be back on the podium after a while.
Yeah, good
Gallon,
finish. It was very
Gal
close
certainly,
those last couple of laps, though.
Yeah, Gal certainly closed in. I think the sort of car went off a little bit, sort of after probably about the, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 laps, and both Corby and Gal sort of closed in on me. But yeah, I was just lucky enough that it sort of come good again. So.
And only have a win by .018, so it was very close for a photo finish between you two on the final lap. So what a way to do it!
Yeah, well done. I tried to
you
get him
gonna
back
have him?
over the line. Tried to smack into him. He owed me a position from last round. Well done, Sam. Top drive, mate.
Cheers, mate. Well done to you, Gal, and Corby as well.
Yes.
Cheers, mate.
Corby, well done. Driving straight off the bat, mate. Well done. That was great.
Yeah, it was lacked a bit of consistency, so I got about 5 laps in before we qualied, and then off we go. And I've been away for work, so it makes it hard, but
Still
their
pulled it
car-
off.
Yeah, the car
Good well.
handles similar, like across tracks. It's more just, you know, dialing in your braking points and the balance of the car through the corners. And this track certainly has that with the undulations and some off-camber stuff. It's a flowy track, but yeah, some late apexes. It's a pretty cool track, so it was good fun, and good racing with Gal there. I was tempted to go for an outside pass on turn 1, but yeah, kind of ran out of road. Bit ambitious.
I was seeing you real wide. I'm like, oh.
But yeah, so it was good, and well done, Sam. Oh, cracking quali. And,
Cheers, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, good race pace, and Gal. It's good fun.
Jeez.
Yeah, and the
Gal was,
fastest lap of the race for Gal as well.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah,
scraping
only
in front of
just,
Corby.
yeah. All that drafting was working, eh, Cobbs?
yeah. I don't know. I think I've hard done by the race director again this week.
Yeah, I was going to say he stung you about 5 seconds worth.
Yeah, I got an extra 2 seconds. So Coco and I were both 3 seconds, and then I copped that extra 2, so I knew it was going to be close when he come out of pit. And luckily, and then I ran out of fuel with about 300 meters to go. So I had 3 seconds, and I was like, uh-oh. And I rolled over the line, and I thought he would shut down the time gap. But yeah.
I was wondering why you were backing off towards the end there.
No, the foot was still flat to the floor.
Giving the screen a blow.
Yeah.
Get over.
So I thought I had enough, but I think a bit of over-rev in these cars, you use a bit more. So.
Yeah. Solid drive by all of you. Another round where everyone's finished all the laps again. So
Yeah, it's been a good series.
yeah,
Well,
very close.
Probably thank Philly. He actually worked on the race car this week, so it was it was quite good. So he did a good job of it, that's for sure.
Billy should thank me.
He qualied well too.
That's where it came from.
Had
Yeah.
good pace.
Yeah, he did,
It's made the
Philly wasn't
rounds.
there, but
It's got
That's
around.
good.
Happy to
So-
share. When I
What
ask.
do we got? One round left.
Yep, final round next week, Bruno.
Bruno. Hopefully. Well, I'm not working away next week, so let's go for it.
Good stuff.
Yep. Championship lead heading into the final round.
Oh, that's
Coco Dog chasing you down as well.
Yep.
Ooh.
forward to it.
It'll be decided next week for sure.
All right.
Well done to everybody. Thank you,
thanks,
JT,
JT.
for your time and effort setting everything up.
No
And
problem.
Pagnian, I think they should be coming on board with some prizes soon. What do you reckon? Hint, hint.
Would be
nudge,
nice.
nudge. It's about due. Well done to everybody. Thank you. And Div too. Little Balaki drove like a champion. And
He did.
Demon and TJ just took it away.
Yeah, shame Wirra wasn't there tonight either.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened to him, but yeah, good on him.
it was on.
It was non-stop all night from both divisions. Good thing to watch.
Now let's
Thanks,
go play
JT.
some golf.
Thanks for another
Yeah.
great race night.
Cheers,
Yeah.
JT.
No worries, guys. Congrats.
Thanks, JT. See you, mate.
And we have our podium finishes with Sami taking the win in round 4, and then on the podium P2 is Gallen and Corby in P3. And then we'll be back again next week for the final. We'll be heading to Bruno GP, and that will be very close, so do check out our Facebook to be able to see the results and standings and incident reports as well, so you can see just how close it'll be as we head into the final round. And then don't forget to hit that follow button, so we've got more racing in the Porsches on Monday night with the final for the Porsche 911 Championship. So thanks for tuning in, and hope to see you on trackside next time.